Welcome back. You're still tuned into Breakfast Central. Thank you so much for staying with us. And, we've just wrapped up an action-packed weekend. I mean, we had the Amas, we had Lagos Photo Festival, we had Ake Festival, but fashionistas from all across Africa and also from across the world gathered in Lagos this week, specifically for the Lagos Fashion Week. I'm so excited to be joined by Sarah Audu of Princess Audu blog, a lifestyle and fashion blog, to dig deeper into it. How are you doing? You look like you're still in street style mode. You're killing it. Now,
Thank you.
Where do we even begin with this? Right, let's talk about your overall review of this year's Fashion Week. Now, let's put all the elements together.
Okay.
We love Lagos Fashion Week, but shows notoriously start late.
Yeah.
Seating can often also be a little bit of a struggle, and one or two production challenges. So in terms of the Fashion Week experience, how would you rate this year?
Well, this is, as I'm a first time attending, this is my first time attending it, but I did speak to a lot of other people and they did agree that the timing was a lot better.
Okay.
Seating as well was a bit better as well, even though there were, like, should I say, a lot of people. Like, I noticed that there was really good turnout on day 3 and 4, so the seats weren't enough for the number of people that were coming in, but overall it was a really good event, I think.
All right, so a lot of people coming out for the closing, which kind of intrigues me, because I know the opening night had some really strong designers. You had Orange Culture, you had some really big names. So do you find that people would rather kind of make it a weekend affair as opposed to people actually following individual designers? Because I saw, for example, Bridget Awosika's showcase, and a lot of the front row was empty.
Yeah, I think it's also because it falls on a work week.
Okay.
A lot of people went to work on Thursdays, went to work on Fridays. That's why we had more turnout on Friday, because Friday is like the weekend, and Saturday was also like another weekend. And I think also maybe people were like, oh, let me see who's gonna be there. Let me see what it's gonna be like. And when they saw day 1 and 2, they're like, no, I have to come there.
Right.
So I think that's probably what happened.
Okay, so getting straight into it, I know you've been dying for me to ask you. Let's talk about the fashion, darling. Let's talk about it. Your most memorable show, which designer really did it for you this year?
For me, it was my Atafo, and he rebranded. So that was really good. I mean, I think he closed the show after the designers after it. I mean, from the music selection to the coordination of the models, to the pieces, to the prints, to how he made everything just work together. He was my best. I think he did the best out of all the designers.
And Lagos Fashion Week is coming just after Africa Fashion International that happened in Johannesburg. Also was happening simultaneously with SA Fashion Week. And one thing that I noted, I mean, listen, I'm a Fashion Week lover. I follow them around the world. One thing that I noted that I was looking forward to is that experience, the show element that Maya Tafo brings to it. Do you feel that it's necessary for designers, especially local designers, to give us more of a show, or are we still happy with just seeing the pieces going back and forth on the runway?
Well, based on like the feedback from Maya, it's obvious that people want more. We don't just want people to walk down and just normal fashion. We need like good song selection, good coordination with the models, like good styling, perfect styling. Because I was talking to a lot of people and they're like, oh, the turnout could have been a lot better, and it seems as if the hype is down. I don't know, it's my first time. But from what they said, they're like, okay, we need something different. We're not sure what it is. We don't know what we want, but we need something different.
Okay, that's interesting. Now we're gonna we're gonna become fashion journalists for a moment. Trends, forecasts. I saw sleeves. I saw primary colors. What do you think are the biggest trends from the runway that are going to be dominating the fashion space? To this time next year, for the next year?
Well, one thing that I saw a lot, I don't know what to call it, like show me your black, the open back trend. I saw a lot of that in designers, especially Orange Culture. He even came out dressed in a top that was showing his back. So I see something like that coming on. I saw a lot of tulle. I saw, like you said, primary colors, especially on day 2. A lot of the designers were focused on a lot more primary colors. There was a bit. I
saw Cynthia Bila on day 2 had a lot of green and yellow.
Exactly, and those were some of my favorites actually, because that resonates a lot more with me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and also we'll probably see maybe a bit of cross-gender dressing. In the sense that, the gender lines are blurred, women can wear
very fluid fashion.
Exactly.
Which is a trend that, I remember last year Orange Culture kind of made a bold statement with his fluid showcase. So do you think that this is something that is going to actually trickle down into our daily fashion choices in this market as Nigerians?
I think it will, because you can tell from street style as well. There were a lot of people who were dressed like in fluid. We had some men wearing, should I say, more feminine kind of pieces. Even women would like see suits now. Suits are definitely in trend. So I definitely see maybe coming in here and there, you know, from fashion enthusiasts. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And so now we also had visiting designers from outside. It's you know, I think that's one of the joys of this fashion week. Christy Brown being one of them. What do you think they add to the conversation?
Well, I think it brings more international attention, because Fashion Week is a great way to showcase Nigerian designers, but we're also getting other African countries who are doing really good. So I think this is another opportunity to like take the fashion scene in Africa to another level by bringing in other countries or other designers in other countries who are doing really well. Like one of the designers I really like, I can't remember her name, but she's from Rwanda. So the designs from Rwanda were some of my favorites. I think it's probably because of how functional the pieces were, and also like the use of primary colors.
But you see, talking about functionality, because this is like one of the oldest debates in fashion, right? When we're looking at the runway, and because personally I've stopped looking at the runway for functionality, and what I've realized is I'm looking at a designer's technique and capabilities. So as if I'm gonna, because in this market you find people want to customize more. It's more affordable and more accessible to make custom pieces. So you're looking at can this designer drape? How does this designer work with fabric, as opposed to, oh, that's a really pretty dress, I want to buy it in its entirety. So you know, looking at that perspective, something like Fashion Week, you know, do you really think that it's translating into business for the designers?
Yeah, see, that's something I wondered, and I actually had a debate with someone yesterday, and I was saying that one thing I really liked was how easy the pieces were, and she was like, that's her problem with it, because she feels like anybody can copy it and everybody's trying to stand out. But for me personally, I like to see pieces that are fashionable with sense, like be fashionable but make sense for everyday people, because at the same time, who goes out on the road dressed in some certain outfits? It's like it doesn't really make sense for me. I mean,
except when you're looking at the street style.
Yeah, street style. But we're talking about like everyday life, going about your business. You can't. Certain outfits don't translate.
They don't translate, right? Now, before we get into, because we're going to round up with sort of some of our best looks from street style. Before we get to that, another dominant trend I saw is a lot of celebrities on the runway. How do we feel about this? Because I know fashion purists often feel like, nah, I just want to see the models. I don't want it to be about, because models are trained to, you know, to be seen and not heard. So it's about the garments. But now when you're bringing personalities onto the runway, we saw a lot of Big Brother personalities, TV personalities. It almost took away from the designs and the clothes that they were wearing, and it became about the persona. So how do we feel about this trend that seems to be growing each year? Because last year we probably saw 3. This year we saw about 10.
Yeah, they were quite a lot. I think maybe it's a way of the designers to basically create more hype around their shows, because if Mike was there, they'd be like, oh yeah, Mike was there. Oh, he wore this.
But do we remember who he wore?
Well, we don't remember, but you know, maybe from a designer's point of view, it's like celebrities are popular.
It's memorable,
They're memorable, so at least let's let them remember that this person was on my show.
Okay. So you're for it?
I honestly don't I'm not really bothered much about it, but I think it I mean, the audience loved it, so maybe that's the extra that they wanted, but some other people were like, no, can we just leave it at models walking, because some of the celebrities could barely walk, and you know, all those kind of stuff. So
it's right. Okay, and last but certainly not least, talking about celebrities and personalities, your standout street style looks. Who did you? I'm assuming you were documenting.
Yes, I did from my story, my Instagram people.
Who was the joy for your fashion eyes this week?
My best dressed weren't celebrities, actually. They're just underdogs who came in. One of them was Viche Uba. He wore this red long dress, kind of with gold earrings on one of the days of that. Like he wore a straw hat on other days. So I saw consistency in his style, and like we were talking about this fluid dressing. So he was one of my favorites. Another was TJ Shu, who's also a lifestyle blogger based in Lagos. I loved how he promoted made in Nigeria pieces. My favorite for best dress was a woman. Her name, she's the founder of Liush, a brand based in Abuja and I think Calabar. She wore this really nice ashoke piece, pink, with a really nice...
Oh, I saw the image. She went viral yesterday. I saw that image.
Yes, and another one was...
Incredible.
Yeah, another one was Onyi Beke with the pearl face and a retro kind of look on the next day. So my favorites, I think maybe because I'm a content creator, so I looked out more for
which is what street style is about. It's never been about it. It's not a red carpet. Like, let's not get it twisted.
I mean, but then the media handles, they focus more on red carpet, like celebrities, popular people. But for me, I saw the real street style in underdogs, people just walking around. I didn't even know most of these people until I posted their pictures and they're like, oh yeah, that's this person, tag them.
Okay, all right, so, you know, focusing on the fashion purity of it. I absolutely love that. I wish we had more time. I'd love to, you know, get into kind of the rivalry between Lagos Fashion Week and GT Fashion Week, but I think that's a conversation for another day.
It is.
Thank you so much, Sarah. This has been incredible. What is your website so that we can...
princessaudu.com, Princess Audu everywhere, social media everywhere. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, we got you, Princess Audu. Thank you so much. So that's the lowdown of what went on at Lagos Fashion Week this year. If you weren't there, then we'll just peep over at Princess Audu's website and her social media, and you can get a quick sneak at some of the hottest street style looks and, of course, some of the top designers that showcased throughout the weekend. Now, we are going to take a very quick break before we round up the show. We'll see you shortly.